The Real Angler Podcast with Community Kevin Brannon is brought to you by Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. Built to look good and be tough. Promar and Ahi USA. Premium fishing products and accessories with concepts developed by passionate anglers. Channel Islands Sport Fishing. Offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats. And more. Mossy Oak. From hot days in the water to sweltering afternoons in the woods, we've got you covered. Outfit your obsession. The Latino Business Expo, Ventura County's largest networking event. Special thanks to Bruce at Kirby Subaru in Ventura. It's the Real Angler Show, live here on Rough Edge FM. And now, here's your host, Kevin Brannon. Today's guest, Ashley Pope from the Ventura Chamber of Commerce.
Look at that, he pushes record from his phone, man. He's like 007, man.
Fancy.
It's fancy in here.
This is the Real Angler Podcast with Community Kevin, here on Rough Edge FM.
And Ashley
I'll be
Pope,
back here.
Yeah, that's our engineer, Scotty. And he made sure that we have Barry with us. Barry was missing at the expo, the outdoor expo. We should have had him.
We should have had Barry.
And I actually got Barry at an outdoor expo up in Sacramento, the ESC or something. Anyway, but this is where Barry came from. He's a Northern California bear. I'm a Southern California bear, but I am the Caliente Cal Bear. And we are here. And you might remember me from things like the Dizzle with the Sizzle and the Ghetto Gourmet, because when we do our cooking segments back in the day, we had a wonderful sponsor, Spicetopia, and Ashley was the owner of Spicetopia. So she was one of my first sponsors and partners that we would use. And we had a little catchphrase that say, do your taste buds a favor and play with your food. I always got these little gimmicks, right? Because the point of that was, we know that seafood is, just a quick minute, a little recap of our history, that sometimes seafood is something people purchase at a restaurant versus prepare at home on their own. But also, since we live in Southern California, it's not all, we didn't want to tie our demographic only into fishing. We grill out here, we chill out here, you know, we have beach parties and all kinds of things like that. And guys are into smoking their meats and stuff. So it was a way for us to expand olive oils and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was a way, again, to make sure that our demographic wasn't just solely based on fishermen, that we were able to tap into other Southern California guys, even females that cook, you know, without being, stereotypical that women belong in the kitchen type of thing. But you know what I mean? A way to really broaden our demographic from just 18 to 65-year-old men that are fishing. And we've always kept that in my brain when I look for partners and sponsors, and how can we both connect with this and do it. And speaking of connecting, Ashley is with the Ventura Chamber of Commerce, where mostly what is about connecting with other businesses. And that's how we met at the Latino Business Expo with Adam that you've seen multiple times. She was actually on the cover as an entrepreneur and for her Spicetopia. So again, see how it all works. And 10 years later, we're together and we still network with the chamber and things like that. So just wanted to kind of tell you our back history. Ashley's talking about today. Tomorrow is the Chamber Expo. And we've been, I think, the last 4 or 5 of those. So Ashley Pope, thank you for being a guest today.
Thank you. Has it really been 10 years?
Yeah.
When did you get started?
Well, I know because I had the posters out for the open house when you wrote me a testimonial on that big billboard.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I'm sponsored with Kevin, and he's sponsored by Maui Gym, and it's great to see my name up there with other corporate sponsors. I remember because I had it on display because we were really showcasing the Rolling Their Network at our open house. So I just happened to read that big billboard, pulled it out the other day. So that's how I know.
A lot of history.
It's been 10 years.
Can I tell them about the fish?
Tell them about the fish story.
Okay, so my favorite story with Kevin is we used to trade spices for fish. And usually, you know, it was a great...
And again, trade. Because you can't sell sport caught fish, just so you know. So I wasn't selling to her.
No, we weren't selling.
We just traded.
It was like, you go fishing and I have spices and let's just like do a little swap. And then one time I met you like at a... it was like a baseball. No, it was like a baseball, like
one of my son's games or something at the park.
It was in like a commercial building and people were like, you know, throwing the baseball. And
it was a batting cages.
Batting cages, there you go. At the batting cages, I'd never been before, and I like go back, and I'm like in the back of an alley, and we're like doing our little swap of spices for fish. And then I go home and I open the fish, and it was literally a fish.
It was a whole vermilion red snapper, and it was overflowing out of a bucket, out of a Brown Homer's bucket.
Kevin, what the heck? What is this? It's supposed to be filleted. Like, I don't want actual, like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm giving this back.
Yeah, that was funny. I thought that's how she wanted, like a whole fish, and then her boyfriend or somebody was going to cook the whole fish.
We both looked at it and we're like, oh my God,
what
like this looks like it was just alive, and we need the fillets. Usually he fillets it for us. Why do we have this big, huge fish? And it was just a funny story. It's always stuck with me. Like, remember that one time when you gave me a whole fish? Like, I would know what to do with that. But that's the whole point, right? Is like getting people to know what to do with that.
Yep.
Like at that time I owned a spice store and I didn't know what to do with the whole fish. So that says something.
Yeah. But see how we get the deals done? Some things we never forget, and that's how we do little trunk transitions in the middle of a parking lot in broad daylight, you know what I mean? And sharing the wealth. But it's funny you say that, because again, and that's still some type of networking. That is a way that, like, again, I use, sometimes I'll refer to the Chumash and Wainimi, because it was about trade. You know, we trade commerce here, you know, Chamber of Commerce, listen to that. It just comes to me. But how you trade your commerce, right? This is what I have. I have these skins and you have those fish, and we swap, and then we both, you know, we get what we need. So we've been definitely networking and sharing commerce for that. How long have you been with the Chamber of Commerce? You want to jump into that?
Yeah, so I started out with the Chamber of Commerce as a member when I owned Spicetopia downtown Ventura, and I do want to give a shout out to Spicetopia. They are still there, still going strong. I sold it in 2019, and the new owners are awesome. So if you haven't been in, go check it out, downtown Ventura. I still shop there all the time, so shout out to them. But I got involved as a member in 2013. So yeah, just about 10 years ago.
Because I remember you were doing both.
I was doing both.
Because I was trying to talk Ashley into going, we would meet and I would be like, don't you want 10 of these things? And that's something about business is where I'm at in my own, like, how big do I want real guppies? How big do I want real anglers? Or do I want to have it manageable in doing it? But I was telling her, you have something, you know, why don't you do this? And she was at a place before she was selling it of, you know, do I run this and do the chamber, or, you know, let that go so I could have a regular peaceful life too, right? Sometimes people, you find out what you don't want by doing what you do to figure out what you know.
Totally.
So, but I remember trying to talk her ear and then being like, what if you went national with this? And again, that's my vision of hers.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't always cast that on people, but I remember those conversation that I was like, come on, man, you can do, you know, but anyway.
So I was a member and I loved being with the chamber, but even when I had Spicetopia before I worked for the chamber, I had another job. I was a outside sales consultant for LASIK and cataract surgeon. And so I would be like all over California, from Paso Robles to Westlake Village. And I was burned out having the store downtown Ventura, managing a team there, and having that other job. And so when this position became available, I think in 2016 is when I was like, oh my gosh, what if I could work for the chamber and just be like right here in Ventura, and never have to leave Ventura ever. That sounds like the best thing ever. And so I took the job in 2016, and then around 2019 is when I was starting to feel like just a little, you know, suffocated by the workload, and really going to make a decision on, you know, what is the path that I want to take. Do I want to run this business, or do I want to do this job, because I was getting older, and you know, you can't do it all the time. And you were one of the people that were like, you better not sell that business. And I was like, sorry, Kevin.
I just thought, again, for my own selfish reasons, that it just seemed like something that, again, everybody has their own journey, right? But I thought the idea of it was just incredible, you know, because, well, again, we'll get to the chamber stuff. We're going to, you know, this is part of what we do on Real Radio is storytelling. And especially when we have our guest speakers that we have history with, is that, you know, sometimes things are just too much, like, you know, like for everybody's own individual decision, whether or not what we think they should be doing. But I was just like, man, this is something that could go gigantic. And you know, let me ask you this question. Was that a hard decision? Was it an easy decision when it's just, because it's you and your thoughts and what you got going on? How was that, you know?
You know, being self-employed it's hard. Like there's just a lot to it. People think, oh, you start a business and then suddenly like you're just gonna have like money overflowing, and you're gonna have more freedom. That's like the biggest rumor. The number one rumor that I hear about business ownership is like the amount of freedom that you're gonna have when you have your own business or your own nonprofit, and you don't have to answer to anyone else. And there is a level of truth to that you don't have to answer to anybody else. But there's like no 8 to 5. Yeah. There is no,
you have a lot of other stuff to answer to.
You do. Know? And if somebody calls out sick, or just like the, you know, all the things that are happening, it's like it all falls on you. And owning a business is such a beautiful thing. Being able to sign paychecks and give back to the community in that way and make those decisions. I had the best time in my 6 years as a business owner. But when push came to shove, it was like, what life do I want? I've created these two awesome lives and opportunities, and what direction do I want to go? And it wasn't a hard decision. Yeah. It wasn't hard. It was, I was ready. I was ready to make the decision. And I think for my life, I made the right decision.
That's good.
So I think there's a lot of narratives out there telling you, like, this is what you have to do to be successful.
Yep.
And this is how you have to run your business, run your nonprofit, run your life. And I think you really have to look inward to determine what success means for you. And that's why I love working for the Chamber, just working with so many business owners, new business owners, a lot of people in sales for large businesses who maybe have really big aspirations with that company or with another company or starting their own business. And I love helping people tap into their dreams and be able to help them find those connections to make those dreams a possibility.
Yeah. Did you take over for Charlene? Was that her role that she had before, or was that a different position that Charlene Mortal was working with the Chamber?
No, she was events. She did events and marketing, and I'm membership. So there was somebody else in her role by the time I came in already. I never got to work with her at the Chamber, but I did work with her when she worked for the Chamber and I was a member, and she's a really awesome person.
Yeah, she did our first press release, because again, this is some of the benefits of the Chamber. The way I'm setting this up is that because when we started with Real Guppies, she helped us write a press release. She helped us do so many things as a Chamber member. And I tell this story, the reason that, and plus she came and volunteered and she helped me, getting started before, she had a family again, because life shows up for all of us, but really helping us get through there. That's why I was saying her a shout out. But the reason I joined the Chamber of Hueneme first and then into Ventura was my grandfather. When we would go visit my grandparents up in McKinleyville for summer, my grandpa was volunteering at the Chamber. I didn't know he was volunteering. I'm a 12-year-old kid, but I thought that my grandparents were the most successful people that I knew. So if my grandfather was part of this Chamber of Commerce when I started my video business, All Lit Up Productions, I should join this chamber, just because I was introduced to it. My grandpa would have us hanging out, running around in the office up there while he was working. I just kind of correlated success or importance or something with the Chamber of Commerce, and we've been members of Hueneme and Ventura. We have a plaque in there for, I think, almost a decade, because I started with Real Anglers Fishing Show before we went to the Guppies. One thing I want to jump into that is that the rumors of being an employer or a nonprofit, that's something that happens, right? There's a lot of misinterpretation out there of what people think happens whether you're running a nonprofit, because I know you work with another nonprofit too, right?
Yeah, I'm the board president for Autism Society Ventura County.
Yeah, and I think we did a kid day with him not too long ago.
Finally, right? We've been trying to coordinate that forever.
Yeah, we got that in, and then we did the Atu run the other day too. But maybe we'll throw some of that in besides the Chamber stuff, just how we partner. But again, that's all networking, right? We get together and we get out there. But just again, for the business owners that are listening or entrepreneurs that are listening, why it's important to be a Chamber member, because I just happen to find this out from Gramps, but to help continue how our professionalism grows and resources besides just business to business, but also other things for business owners that don't know to get training on.
Yeah, we do lunch and learns and a lot of different events. So there's really two reasons why people join the Chamber. There's a lot of reasons, but it kind of breaks down to two. The first one is networking. So we have about 700 businesses as members. We represent over 25,000 employees, and we have awesome networking events. We work really hard on them. Tomorrow, May 16th, is our business expo at 4 Point Sheraton. It's from 4 to 6:30, and we encourage anyone to come by. It's a great event for not only people in business, but also just general public to come through and meet about 75 businesses at different booths. And there's free food and there's prizes, and
there's always the chicken wings and stuff. Anyway.
From 4 Points, they've definitely load us up.
And the brisket sandwiches.
It's so fun. It is just such a fun event, and the theme tomorrow is Once Upon a Time. So we are going to have Sunny, the horse from Sunny Horses for Kids. He's going to be there, and Sunny's parents don't know yet, but I bought him a unicorn horn just for the theme. It's like Once Upon a Time, got to have a unicorn there. Jane Lee from Ventura County Balloons is going to build us a balloon castle. So we're going all out with the theme. We're ballooning. And
the bingo thing.
Yeah, the bingo, the blackout card. There's $100 cash prizes. There's so many fun.
We're gonna give Ashley a prize right now to put us in the raffle before she leaves, so I don't forget tomorrow. Okay, so make sure we'll load you up with a little swag bag before you go.
I will absolutely take it.
And that's how you get your name called over the event. And Spence, that you hear us on KVTA, is he going to be emceeing it tomorrow and
He's
doing
not
the talking?
emceeing tomorrow. I know.
Do you need him? Well, Josh Domingo.
No, actually, Stephanie usually emcees this one with Bruce Haldy.
I love Bruce.
I know.
Shout out to Bruce with Kirby. They actually sponsored this series for the Guppy Ranger program.
Oh, cool.
And again, we got that from. So this is what we do. We go to the chamber event. Scotty, we have that orange paper right there. You get what's called a hot sheet, right? And you get your 20 seconds to do your hot sheet. So what we do is we bring this back, and we have our interns or our entry-level staffers put this into our network for good database. All the stuff I used to do, right? As they're learning about, the wax on procedure, and then they're in there to get all of our newsletters. So Bruce seen enough of our newsletters to say, hey, so that's another way to network, right? It's not just that 20-second commercial or that breakfast. It's a long, you're investing all the time and continuing to stay in front of these different businesses. But that's why you've seen and said, hey, Kev, I want to come in and, versus, that was a bigger sponsorship. So again, that's the power of networking and a longevity. It's not a one and done. Like I wrote down, if you're not networking, you're not working, as Adams Casilla says, but it's not the day of the event that's going to pay off. It's consistency and growing and showing it to other people's ribbon cuttings that you guys do and things like that to get noticed. And then it's a momentum and a snowball effect, right?
Totally. And I always think to me, networking, it doesn't feel like working, right? It's you're getting to know people who are supportive and kind and generous, and
passionate, and hear the stories. There's a lot,
I can't imagine doing business in this community and not tapping into the business community, because it's just it's such a great community to tap into.
Yeah.
There's so much, like you said, life and passion and excitement, and also they get it. So I don't know about you, but when I was first in business, I didn't really have friends in business. It was like most of my friends were working still, like they're 8 to 5 or retail. And that's why I would cling to people like you that were like, oh, you have that entrepreneurial spirit. Like, let's try to figure it out together. Because it's confusing and nobody knows about it and everybody thinks it's one thing, but it's really something else. And to be around other people who've been through similar struggles and similar successes, and people just to share your success with ultimately, and do business with, is, I think, one of the biggest gifts of being in business.
It is. That's why I tell people, because we changed up our mission statement and our vision this year when we did our last year when we did our strategic plan, because I wanted to put that we're empowering them to make a difference in their environment, not the environment. Because if your environment is cooking, if your environment is baking, doing spices, then you're able to give, like you said at the beginning, right? You're able to give back through the arts and the passions that you love to do, right? Missy's Cupcakes donates cupcakes. She loves being a baker, so she's able to donate things, or L'Amour cakes, or just something to throw it out there. But again, that's the passionate part about the entrepreneur and small business, that they feel like they're able to give and make in their environment. And that's why we really push that on with our Guppies, is because the empowerment of being a creator and inventor and ownership and going after it, and how do we teach some of those principles that you're just talking about, that we display to them when they come through our door? Because again, where else are you going to get that conversation? Where else are you going to get that environment to bond and have those kind of conversations? Because there's not too many, again, big groups, like you said, business owners. So I don't want to go long-winded, but I understand 100% everything that you just said, and the importance of again, it's not just walking around and meeting businesses, when you're, how much is really rooted in all that.
Yeah. You're going to do business with those that you know and like and trust. Right. So if you
sound
time,
like Miss Caldwell yesterday on the.
Did she say that?
She said exactly
the exact same thing. We say that. We start to sound the same. I swear my hair got like curly, and I was like, "What? How did my hair get curly?" I think the curls are contagious. We spend so much time together that it's like we definitely start to sound the same, which is a blessing. I would take her voice. She has an awesome public speaking voice, which kind of brings me into point number 2. Why people join the chamber is really for business advocacy. So people join the chamber to get open. To help with permits, because they have issues with things like housing, and they want to see a more vibrant business community. And she gets to do most of that at, City Hall and the county supervisors meetings, and making sure that she's
Poinsettia
building those
Pavilion
connections.
is one of the things that you guys do that I never miss. When you guys get all those people
Poinsettia
in the
Awards.
yeah, when you guys do that and how many people are in that building,
Yeah.
and what they're supporting. Man, the X Games last year, and is it Marlis, right?
Marlis,
she was one of the
Visitor Center.
hardest working people for Ventura, and to see her get that award,
Yeah.
I called her. And this is, again, a business thing, right? I called her directly to just congratulate her, because our books are in there. If you go to their visitor center, they actually sell my workbooks.
Nice.
One of the first ones to get me in there to sell. And then again, this is networking. So she got a number from somebody, and it was this called Look Who's Casting or something. And it was a family of 3, a dad and 2 kids that came out, and they did a video on the Ventura Pier, and they called me and Kevin Jr. to take these people out fishing, right? And that's how all that networking works. Of somebody a referral, right? So that this guy's taking a video with Community Kevin, where Royal Angers was primarily at the time. But again, by meeting her here at the chamber, all she does for Ventura, somebody's coming in to visit, she calls me, and then boom. And then she got the award for bringing the X Games to Ventura to help, put that together in Ventura and what's going on. Is there any, besides that, what other great events do you have coming up in Ventura that are going on in Ventura? Because I know you advocate a lot too for the city of Ventura.
Yes. So the Strawberry Festival is back this weekend for the 2nd year.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping that traffic and everything, that's what a lot of people have been like, traffic, it was a little concerning last year. I know that Ventura Police Department and Oxnard Police Department are both trying really hard to get the message out to use public transportation, to look at the Strawberry Festival website and make sure that you're utilizing transportation options that won't get you stuck for an hour or 2. So, but we're really excited. I know that we kind of snagged that event from Oxnard. I know that a lot of the money that the Strawberry Festival raises does still go back to Oxnard, and we know and support that. But yeah, they're definitely a member, and we're excited that they're going to be at the fairgrounds for the 2nd year.
It's at the fairgrounds? It's not at the fairgrounds. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did that last year as well.
Okay, so it's not at the college, because I haven't been back since the pandemic.
Yeah.
When that stopped everything, that was the big thing, is getting the Strawberry Festival back. Interesting. I did not know
fairgrounds.
that.
So, like I said, I'm glad that the funds that they raise for the community do go back to Oxnard programs primarily. And I think it's so important to maintain the Oxnard culture within the Strawberry Festival, and it seems like they've done a really great job of that, although it is now in Ventura at the fairgrounds. So grab your public transportation, carpool, and do whatever you have to do. Take a bus to get over there, and we hope to see you out there this weekend at the Strawberry Festival. And then
I won't be able to come this Sunday. Sorry, we have our fundraiser, so I'm gonna have to miss it. Somebody said they couldn't buy it, so we have
Saturday
our fundraiser.
and Sunday.
Yeah.
If you really start to crave a strawberry tamale or something, I think it's they're out there. Strawberry shortcake or strawberry beer.
Strawberry shortcakes are good too. That's what I had last time.
Yeah.
One of my film days, this is where I got in it. I used to think the Strawberry Festival, again, this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I thought it was like, man, I'm never going to pay $9 for a strawberry. I live in Oxnard. I can buy them out in the corner for whatever. And then when I was filming at Oxnard College, we got all access to go film for a project, and I was hosting OCTV. So, and then it actually changed my view on it, because I didn't realize that there was that many nonprofits that were making that's how they raised their money. So I kind of got taught a lesson on what I thought something was before actually going in there and getting it and realizing it. But I had the strawberry shortcake. I'm a drool right now on the equipment here, but yeah, man, it's a great event. So
yeah, that's a fun one. And then of course we are so excited about X Games.
X Games, baby.
And
I'm gonna call Marlis too and try to flex Kevin Brannon's VIP to see if I don't have to wait in line and get in the bag. I am gonna try that.
They are doing more stuff downtown. I don't know if last year you were at the opening night for the drone show and like the skate park. So last year downtown Ventura, I think it was on either Thursday or Friday night before X Games. It was like the opening event. They had set up a full skate park on California and Main Street.
Really?
And then the kids were just going and playing and doing all their tricks, and they had the MC out there calling out what tricks were being done, and there was probably 1,000 people out there just watching all the kids do their tricks. And then they ended the night with a drone show, which is kind of new age fireworks, up against City Hall. The drone show was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. It was I
think I seen something yesterday. Again, sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but now it makes sense. They're saying Santa Paula is trying to a drone Fourth of July party.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the same thing?
Yeah. So they're kind of fireworks are fantastic as well. Rotary Club of Ventura puts on fireworks at the college on the 4th of July. So if you're looking for real fireworks, old school fireworks, definitely go see them. That's another chamber member event. But the drone show I mean, it was spectacular. They were spelling out Ventura. They were putting like images of like bikes. They were like the drones were like, the lights were doing little skateboard tricks, and they were palm trees, and it was just so cool to see all these lights in the sky. It's like coordinated, what are those coordinated swimmers?
Synchronized swimmers?
Yeah, synchronized swimmers. Right. It's like that, but the drone version in the sky. It was so cool.
It was incredible. I saw that. We were standing there on the parking lot looking out at the drone show. And it you know, you think it's like going to be like a drive-in or something, but it's not the drive-in because you've got the whole sky. And it kind of hurts your head a little bit because it's so overwhelming, but it was awesome.
It was so awesome, and people were taking pictures.
How do I take in all this?
It's really like taking pictures and videos and posting them, and it was like, no, that post, you know, when the post like just does not do justice. Yeah. You're like, just don't even post it. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even tell the story of what people actually saw out there. So I know they're going to do that again. And
when is that? When is the X Games? Do you know?
X Games, it's June. It's coming up. I know it's in June.
Okay.
It's in June, but I don't know the exact day. I want to say June 20 something. One of those last weekends in June. So check it out. Tickets are for sale. VIP tickets, regular general admission tickets. I did go to X Games last year as well. The energy there was incredible. Honestly, just watching it, if you're not interested in going, just make sure it's on TV. Yeah. Like, just those sights of Ventura. We went for a few hours and then went home and watched the rest of the X Games on TV, and just every commercial break, the way that they would like come out and show that classic Ventura Pier beach going over the mountains.
Made you tingle, like, that's
I was like, that's my home. Yeah. Like, we're here. And yes, so much credit to Marlis and her team at Visit Ventura. They worked for years to get X Games here in Ventura.
And they use a lot of members within the chamber too, right? I don't know all the members, but I know that the way that they went about it, and when you guys gave her recognition, and we'll move on to the next topic. But again, just the way that they organically and they think that big and utilize all that stuff. That the X Games said, okay, let's use your local vendors and let's do all that, not calling in these big names. And it was just a really cool to hear the whole story about her at the Poinsettia Award about well, as much time as they gave her, but you know what I'm saying, like
the community
it was really
impact of something like that, of a dream, right? And it all ties back to like,
a dream,
what is
baby.
the dream? How are you going to make it happen? Taking those really hard steps. Yeah. Like everything that it takes to actually bring that to fruition, and knowing that there's a good chance that it may never come to fruition, but you still like pour in all that heart and soul, and you try and try and try, and then it just happens. And yeah, the impact on that will be, last year's X Games is still impacting Ventura financially in a positive way. So the ongoing impact of something. Effect. Yeah. It's just on and on and on. People seeing Ventura on TV like that, and seeing how beautiful our community is, and then deciding, you know what, let's check out that place for vacation. Let's go visit the X Games. Let's go check out that downtown that we saw as they were pulling out and featuring, and they just did such a great job. And and I loved how Tony Hawk just kept saying, like, I love this place. We love Ventura. We're coming back here. Ventura's so awesome. We love Ventura. We love the people here. We love all of it. And I think that's so special. So special. So hats off to Marlis and her team at Visit Ventura for making that happen. And I know she would say all of the community partners, including the chamber and so many others who helped get it here and helped bring it to such a successful event.
So you just said the term community right now, and that's like the term everybody likes to bang the drum and talk about it. And we're here for the community, but Ashley, I got VIP. I swear sometimes you my VIP, right? I'll forget to book for the breakfast because we do the breakfasts, and I'll just call her directly because I feel like I can. She'll call and she'll sign me up because I can't navigate through the website, through the portal and stuff, and I'll just call her and be like, I know it's after noon on Wednesday. We didn't get our name on the hot sheet, but I want to send my crew out there, my team. And this is, as Community Kevin is growing, and Ashley was talking about how we get busy, I still wanted to be a presence at the chamber. So now we have Marshall and Becky going in as representatives of Real Guppy Outdoors to make sure that we stay within that community because of so many things they do. Something that came up the other day, I heard that this last chamber breakfast was like one of the biggest. Is that like 130 businesses or something on the last breakfast?
Yeah, it's getting really big. So even pre-COVID, we would sit at about 120, 125, and we definitely hit 130, which is crazy. It seems like the engagement for events is so high right now. Like, if you put on an event and you promote it, it will sell out and people will show up. And those typical no-show rates that used to be the norm, like, 10 to 20% people no-show that sign up for things, those are kind of out the window. People want to be out. People want to be connecting. And networking events are incredible right now. Even ribbon cuttings, we used to have like, I don't know, 10 to 15 people show up at a ribbon cutting, and they were great. And now it's like 25 people are showing up to a ribbon cutting. You came to our
ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Remember? You had to borrow your scissors.
I did.
I called in you guys in the Southwest Ventura County Chamber Alliance, because we're members of both. But that's how you utilize it. They help us spread the word for our ribbon cutting. You do that for other businesses. And we had, how many people did you say? We walked up today and it was a ghost town.
I know. I was like, I don't recognize this place, because last time I was here, there was like 200 people here for the ribbon cutting. So that was a really fun one. It was really
so
awesome.
Tell people what a ribbon cutting is.
Yeah, so a ribbon cutting is a celebration of any business that has invested in the community. So typically it's a new business or a business that's remodeled, a building that's been fixed up, any of those, any type of restoration. That's what we're really celebrating. And we come out with giant scissors. They're like 4 feet tall. They're really big and sharp. They actually do cut. I wish I would have brought them today. They're really fun.
We actually kept our ribbon still out there. People sign our ribbon, and we have it out inside. When you walk in, you'll see it pinned up to the wall. So.
Yes. And then we coordinate to bring out somebody from city council or representatives from the city, and our CEO speaks, and maybe some like a board chair. And then we allow the business owner to take over and just say a few words. A lot of times there's videographers and photographers and press opportunities, and then we cut the ribbon, do a photo op, and people sign, and it's just a nice little welcome celebration.
And then just mingling it up. That's pretty neat, man. Yeah. So I had like 10 thoughts in my head when you said that, so now they just crashed in my brain, so we're going to keep going, because I was so excited about what you said. Oh, here it was. We're not from Ventura. We're in Oxnard, and we do our stuff out of Port Hueneme, the pier, and we're still Ventura Chamber members, because, again, the value that we get as being a chamber to this next city over. So, let them know that you don't have to be... you don't have to have your business in Ventura to still be a Ventura Chamber member.
Yeah, anybody who wants to do business in Ventura, or is even, City of Ventura holds the county seat. So we have the government center, the county hospital, the county jail, and we are definitely a mover and shaker in terms of like the trends of what's going on.
Like the capital of Ventura County, right?
We're
like
the Sacramento.
The capital of Ventura County.
The capital of Ventura County. No, that's not official, but I think in a lot of ways, businesses from all over the county do recognize that Ventura is an important place to be a strong in business and strong period. We have the county jail and the county hospital, which bring a lot of the social problems are very alive and well in Ventura. And our Chamber of Commerce does a lot of advocacy for housing, and we work on a lot of homeless issues. I think
there's quite a few nonprofits too that are in there. So again, if you're a nonprofit like we are, again, it's not like a business that's selling a commerce or a restaurant or serving a service that you guys support, and other nonprofits that are part of the chamber as well. So
yeah, all kinds of businesses. If you want to do business in Ventura, then you should definitely check out the Ventura Chamber of Commerce. And if you're just overall wanting to have a positive business community throughout the entire county, you should also check out the Ventura Chamber of Commerce. And we're also just really fun. The other thing I love about the Ventura Chamber is it's a much more like casual networking environment. Like, it's clearly a beach town. When you walk in, people from all different walks of life and dressed all different types of ways. And it's really diverse in both industry and ethnicity, and across the board. It's just a very diverse, friendly chamber.
Welcoming.
And we work really hard. Yeah, we work really hard to maintain a chamber that feels welcoming to all, no matter who you are, what background, no matter if you feel like maybe you don't belong in a chamber of commerce, have a little bit of that imposter syndrome. Come check us out. You will absolutely make a friend the first time you visit an event. It's just the way we are. So.
Is Christina Vanarelli, is she a chamber member?
Yeah, of course.
So she's my attorney. We have the Hadas and Rosandra from HR firm, and he's an ambassador. So we definitely stay within the chamber again, and it's easy to know, like she said, people that you know, people that you trust, because again, as a nonprofit, I do need an HR firm. I do need a legal representation. When I get to a certain point of being an entrepreneur, of not trying to know everything and psych myself out and do it all, that I can lean on professionals to come in with their services, keep it in the network, and then them walk me to the next step. Today in this thing me and Scotty talked about before, a dot to dot. When you go through, I have the Guppy books, and there's a dot to dot, and how you get from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 versus trying to jump around. And that's what the chamber also helps you with. If you need professional services, they're all in that room. You don't have to find the yellow pages. You're right there. Hey, I do need help with documentation. Hey, I do need stuff with this. So you're underneath one building for breakfasts or these mixers, and able to meet those same people that understand small business as far as walking their clients or their whatever services they need to the next number.
Yeah, I get text messages like almost every day, like, hey, I need a plumber, hey, I need a notary, hey, my roof is leaking, and Kevin said, just call Ashley to register for the breakfast, or that
don't
he
do
does.
that. Yeah, I do. Don't follow me.
There are better ways out there, but I am definitely a little bit of a walking chamber directory.
You are.
Even with all those 700 businesses, like if somebody were to be like, hey, is this a member, right off the bat, I can say like yes or no, which is kind of that's like a fun fact about me.
It is fun. And I know it works. Like, I call them and say, hey, that's what we wanted to get you on here to tell the story. And also, because I think with that many people coming, I think it's an era right now of entrepreneurship after the pandemic. People are saying, yes, I had a job that I didn't like, or I don't like it. I want to tinker in something I've always loved to do. And that's why when you guys hand out 10 new plaques when I was going, I was like, new business owners, come on. You know what I mean? Because I just think it's an era right now of ownership and people getting an American dream, the American way of trying to start something, invent something, and owning a piece of the American pie, and seeing that many new businesses start with modern day technology online. It's great to I get excited when I see that many young pioneers or inventors up there, man.
You were about to say youngsters, and I think
or even young in business. If you're 40 and you want to get started because it's something you always wanted to do, the kids are out of the house.
Yes. And I absolutely love this next generation of business owners, because they're like, we're doing it, like, I'm doing it different. Like, I'm not going to work 50 hours a week, and I'm not going to, do ABC, and I am going to charge what I'm worth. And I am, and I'm like,
and I've been there.
You go, like, you do that. You change this world.
Change the game.
Like,
isn't that so cool? That's what I tell people. Because I'm at this called intergenerational. They told me from the university, and we're going to jump into that before we finish, is that, Jennifer, from there, I'm intergenerational. I'm not, these things are demons and this is a bunch of time. And so but I'm not as sharp as my kids as far as what they know, right? My 20-year-old kids. So I'm in the middle of understanding that this is a new wave in the way that they used to do business, or the model, or even with nonprofit. We just had this conversation that I say what people think, versus some nonprofits, they can't, because it can affect their funding or how they're viewed, where it's like, well, nonprofit, the way we get money now, it's a lot different than it was 10 years ago. There's a whole new make and model. And if you don't adapt, and you don't start thinking outside the box, you could perish. So I think that's great that they just come in fearless and wanting to try new stuff.
Yeah, you should definitely be who you are. Being authentic is, I think, everything in business, whether you're in business or nonprofit or at a job. I think being your true self is definitely key to building those types of relationships. I see that sometimes too, where a new business or a new nonprofit will be like especially polished, which is great, like, to be the best version of yourself, but as long as you're still a version of yourself. And I think you've always stayed true.
I like that part, because I try to say that because I'm going through this, reading my devotion and humility, and as I'm growing, again, how to conduct myself. I have staff and what I do, but not lose who Kevin is, and have that balance of, I still got to stay authentic to me and not be folding to whatever imaging I need to be to get funding or however I'm at. And again, if we don't do business together, at least I know I stood on myself and where I'm at, and sleep at night and be just fine.
Yeah, not everyone is for everyone. That's another thing I would kind of tie back to the chamber is, like, we are firm believers that competition is actually good for business. It's good for your business to have people in the same field as you to do something similar to what you're doing, because there's no one person that can serve every single person who needs your service. And
there's an abundance. If you start thinking about in scarcity, it's going to fracture how you think, I think. So to know that there is abundance for this plumber to get dough and that plumber to get dough, there's enough out here for all of us. And I think you maneuver more ethically when you have that on your mind, versus you got to get every call, every lead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just wishing success, like celebrating other people's success. That's a big one.
A huge one.
And the business community is generally very, very good about that. I think if you're in business long enough, you absolutely will win and you will lose, and you will get the contract and not get the contract. And it's all just part of the journry. Just celebrating every step.
So that being said, if you go to a chamber mixer, don't get discouraged if you don't get to lead the first day. This is just a little, like, this quick minute is just more, again, as a new entrepreneur. Like she said, she's dealt with them, and I've been in it long enough to know that you win some, you lose some. But when you're first starting out, you could take a loss and feel, traumatized, or it could really affect you until you understand we all go through this. It's going to happen to every single one of us. It's part of being on. There's a thing called the butter and the guns. The buttery part always looks all nice and pretty. Like you say, you got your time off, you got you went to wear your own uniform and blah, blah, blah. And then the guns part is like the days where it's just like, oh my God, another thing. So just as a young entrepreneur, just know that that's going to happen, but it happens to all of us, and not to let that kind of derail or deter you from continuing on your mission and your vision and your passion because you came across a little bit of adversity, because it happens to all of us. No matter how good you are, it's going to happen.
And it's going to make you stronger.
Right? That's right. So last thing I want to say, thank you to Ashley. Sorry. Did you see we got an award last week from the university?
I heard.
Yeah, I sent you out on a shout out.
That is so awesome.
Because
congratulations.
But listen, she said that the chamber advocates for people, and to know a feeling that, because the way it connected, you told Jose about us, communications teacher at the university. He comes in, sits in the chair you're at, and I'm talking to him. So we called Jennifer, and I learned about CI Serves. Next thing you know, we are a home for them to send students a nonprofit. And we've had them for 3 semesters. And they gave us the award last week. So her advocating for us to the university for a kid that can't really read too well. And, if you heard my story about my academic struggles, to be at a higher learning academic facility, receiving top honors for our organization and what I'm doing and how they view me, even though it's a nonprofit, but how they view my leadership. But it started with you advocating for me and us when I'm not even in that room. You know how good that feels to know people are talking about you like that and where I'm at. So yeah, when I put the video up, there's tears. I cried 3 times. See my daughter in there and sharing that time with family and all of that was tied in. It was definitely an emotional overload because of how big and significant it was. But again, because somebody advocated for my business because of the networking that we've been doing for 10 years.
Yeah, and that came through. Jose had reached out during COVID. I remember because it was a Zoom meeting, maybe in 2020, like in the beginning of COVID, or I don't know, sometime in that year. And we were talking, and he was saying that he has this new initiative that he's trying to launch, but it was rough because of just the timing. And the 2 words that stand out to me were ocean and equity. And immediately there was a couple nonprofits that popped up into mind, yours being first. Ocean and equity, that's like what you do, bringing kids onto the ocean and exposing kids to just the beauty of like being out on a boat, of fishing as a trade, of fishing as a hobby,
that
of the
Ventura
mental
pier
health
that you
support.
have, right? All those things of Ventura that you talked about.
I mean,
on the water part is what I was trying to jump in on that.
Absolutely. There's so many people in our community that don't have access to the ocean. And that's what the conversation I was having with him. So I made that connection, and you did all the work from there. And next thing I know, you're getting an award. Now, I did know about the connection, and I knew about the success of the program that you guys had going. And that's my privilege. Whenever I have the opportunity to learn more about a program like that's happening in our education system or in our community at large. And if somebody's seeking a community partner, I love talking to them, because I'm sure I can connect them with a fantastic community partner. And
she's a connector.
I'm so glad that happened.
Yeah. All from the Ghetto Gourmet and Ashley and a bucket full of red snapper in a parking lot.
Yeah. That was like
collecting top honors and being at the expo tomorrow, and us advocating as well for. Because we're running out of time, but we're going to get there. Like some of the things you have, young professionals. Toastmasters, again, things that every new person coming into business, I'm a talker, so I have that luxury, right? But some people that struggle in these, look at development, economic development.
And legislative committee. So that one's all about learning what's going on at the state, county, federal level that impacts our businesses right here in Ventura County. And we have an ambassadors group who attend a lot of the ribbon cuttings and the mixers and are kind of at the forefront of the community. There's so many different opportunities. So this is our 2-month calendar. You can see how crazy it is.
Crazy fun though.
Crazy fun. And you can go on to venturachamber.com to learn more. I will also give you my email address, Ashley, ASHLEY, at ventura-chamber.org. And I'd love to chat with you about your business. In case you can't tell, I'm not like a super hard, like, you're going to join this right now, sign this contract. I do want to learn more about your business and really guide you and help you to make the decision on if the chamber is right for you. It usually is.
We're going to change the name from contract to agreement.
Yeah,
it's an
agreement.
investment.
No,
it's an agreement. That's what you used to say in pest control.
It's not
a contract. This is an agreement of an investment for you to learn all of these things. Trust me. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. Find people that can help you. That's what we teach in fishing, right? We're going to teach you a couple confidences, teach you how to cast one by one. And again, being a chamber member, you can definitely help get you over some of those hurdles faster than trying to do everything on your own. So there's multiple benefits besides just good breakfast and cool ribbon cuttings and stuff like that. That is a benefit of being a chamber member. And again, if my grandpa had not have taken me to hang out with him during our visits in the summertime, I might not have known what a chamber is either. And the reason I tell that story is people that don't know exactly what a chamber does, or if it's a government entity or agency of what a chamber of commerce is there to help you with. And Ventura Chamber and Ashley and Stephanie do a great job, and their other staff, of making, again, for us to grow continuously. Because I think I know everything, but that's a lie. It's something I've lied to myself about. So when I need help in those areas, I know exactly where to go and get help.
Me. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you have something, Scott? You're about to say something.
I was going to say, Ashley, thank you. You were terrific. I learned a lot here, and you need to talk about your fundraiser real quick.
It's sold out, though. The fundraiser's sold out.
We're going to still talk about it because they can still donate, right?
Well, you can actually go to Real Guppy Outdoors and check out and make your monthly donation. We're doing a pledge right now where it's at $10 a month, and that goes to pay the rent at the Learning Center. All that money kind of goes in because of the grants that we get really don't cover the brick and mortar part. So another way, again, to get creative, think outside of the box, is a monthly pledge to Real Guppy Outdoors and go to our website. Or you could do a one-time donation for bigger, $25 a month, but go to our website, go to giving, and if you want to make a donation or a pledge and help the Real Guppy Outdoor program continue to be successful and opening doors to people to get to the waterways right here in our local area, we appreciate your support.
Love it. And if you see a fundraiser you want to go to, sign up because they sell out.
Yes, they do. Again, we jam. We put the fun in fundraiser out here. You know what I mean? So.
And come check out the space too. What your hours here?
We're here from Wednesday through Saturday between 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock at the 2741 South Victoria Guppy Dockside Learning Center studio. And we're going to add the word wellness to it because that helps you get funding if you put wellness, and being on the water definitely helps with wellness. We call it vitamin C, SEA, vitamin C.
Come check it out. It's really cute in here, and you can just feel the love that's gone into the space. And
I think we ran out of space. That's the only thing. We got 900. We used every inch of 900 square feet.
It's really awesome. I mean, good thing you have the entire ocean.
Yeah, we kind of took over the whole. With it being a ghost town, we kind of take over the whole compound, and it's fun. So yeah,
Check it out. Donate. Give regularly to Real Guppies. And thank you so much for having me on.
And the last thing, it was a pleasure taking the Autism Society out fishing. And you're one of the organizations that we, always want to do at least once every 6 months, or, once or twice a year for sure. So let's do it. Because again, when you come out with the guppies, we tell them you're all just kids, depending on if you've been diagnosed or whatever. When you come out on the pier with us, you're all just kids. You're all just, there's nothing, we don't put any labels. There's nothing on you. And you just get a chance to run around the pier and fish and play out with other kids and adults. And I've seen a lot of kids that open up and their parents or say like our kid normally is a little bit more shy or standoffish, and when they come to our events again with other kids and they're running around just organically, they're just their natural selves. And I think that's one of the greatest benefits to watch that happen when we do that. So
absolutely. Vitamin C is good for everyone.
That's right. I see. All right, we'll see you next time. Ashley Pope again. Thank you again. A good friend of mine, not just somebody I network with, but really an authentic friend of mine. And we've been friends a long time. We continue to be buddies forever. And again, thank you very much for everything you do. I always try to tell her, give you a raise. Give them a raise. Give them a raise. I try to do a verbal yelp to get you up there. But again, great job. And we thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. All right, check it out. We'll see you guys next time, next Wednesday. No, next Wednesday, we'll probably just do updates. And then the following Wednesday, we'll get it. Some more guests. All right, thanks again. Real Radio, Kevin Brannon, Scotty Chuhati, and Barry. We're out.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.